Hello, AniCod here, and today I thought we'd test out the M870 Shotgun. Everyone knows that a Jager shotgun is super powerful, so we're going to get into it and we're going to see what the best attachments is to use. There's not many attachments you can put on it. The damage obviously for a shotgun is fantastic. The mobility being 50 is obviously top mobility. So there's only one attachment then, and that's the laser. Now everyone knows my opinions on multiplayer lasers, but we're going to go into it and we're going to see the advantages and the disadvantages of using one. So there's a couple of sights you can get. It doesn't really matter too much because it's only a shotgun, you're going to hip fire in anyway. You've got the red dot, you've also got the holographic sight, and you've also got the reflex sight. Now not a lot of people use sights on shotguns, and you can understand why, but there is an advantage and we'll go into that. So as you can see, the M870 shotgun, you can do up to actually look quite nice. I know a lot of people out there go for more cosmetic looks than they do the functionality, but yeah, so we're going to get straight into it and we'll get into some testing. So first things first, now we're going to try hip firing first. Now this is hip firing with a laser fitted. What I'll do, I'll get the comparison up at the end. So we'll do a couple of close range shots, we'll push out to a sort of medium range, and then we'll push out to a far range. Now remember, this is with the laser, so it will tighten up the crosshairs as well, and we can actually fit three shots in there. You'll see that the one without a laser, you can't fit 3 shots in there, and you definitely can't fit 2 shots on this wall. You might think with a shotgun it's a bigger spread is better, but actually it's completely the opposite. Each pellet does its own amount of damage, and the idea is to get as many of those pellets on your target as possible. And if you've got a big spread, fair enough, you might hit more, but it's going to do minimal damage. And if you pull out to a far range, when using a laser, it will put more pellets onto your target, causing more damage. So let's have a look at the difference then without using a laser now. Already you can see the crosshair is much bigger, which is going to give you a tighter spread. So we're going to do the same again. We're going to go short range, push out to a sort of medium range, and the medium range is about the limit to damage. You don't really want to go any further away than this. If you do go further away without a laser fitted, you can see the crosshairs fits up pretty much the whole wall. You could probably fit 3 people in there, which isn't great at all. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll get a comparison up now so you can see exactly what's happening. What I'll do, I'll leave it up for a little bit just so you can absorb it, but on the left is without the laser and on the right is with the laser. As you can see, at close range there's not an awful amount of difference, but it still is tighter. At a medium range you get a slightly better result, and at a far range you get a fantastic result. Remember, the disadvantage to a laser is people can see exactly where you are, and it will give you position away if people are looking out for it. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So if you look now, the laser's flashing all over the place, and if you're behind a doorway, people will be able to see exactly where you are without actually making eye contact with you yourself. Now there is one advantage, apart from the power, which you can see the power can break walls when you've got a laser. It puts more pellets onto the actual area. But if you look at the laser, when you hip fire, 1 round will always hit where your laser's shining, always. So no matter what range you're at, you will always get at least 1 round on there. Now this is what I was saying about the laser shining everywhere. It just goes as far as you can see, and if someone sees a laser on the opposite side of a wall, they know that there's someone on the other side of that wall, and it gives them the tactical advantage over you then. So that's just something to keep mindful of when you're actually using a laser. It might tighten up your groups and give you an advantage over firefights and slightly better at range, but that's an indication. And the idea of this game is information is key, and if people know where you are, you're already at a disadvantage, so be careful with that one. So what about ADSing, or aiming down sights then? Well, let's have a look to see if this gives you some sort of advantage on grouping. So we're going to do exactly the same again. This is with the laser aiming down sights, and we're going to push close, and we're going to do a medium, and we're going to do far, and we're also going to do exactly the same without the laser ADSing, and see what advantage / disadvantage we're going to get. Now, as you can see, that's already an impressively tight group when you're using a laser and ADSing. So let's have a look at ADSing then without. So we've got the same setup again. We've got a short range, we've got a sort of medium range, and we also push out to a long range. Now what I'll do, I'll get the comparison up as well so you can see exactly where we are with it. So on the left then, that's ADSing without the laser, and on the right it's ADSing with the laser. So as you can see, ADSing, you do get a tighter grouping at far range. The short and medium ranges, there's not that much difference, to be honest, when you're ADSing. But remember, there is also an advantage to ADSing with or without the laser, and we're going to cover that now. So remember what we were saying with the laser, where wherever it's shining, you will get one pellet that hits exactly where you're aiming, where the laser is. Well, it's exactly the same when you're ADSing with a scope. So if you look down the scope, you can see, and I'll zoom in for you, exactly where you fire, where the scope is aiming, at least one pellet will hit. Now granted, at this sort of range, one pellet hitting might do about 4 damage to another operator. Granted, that could be the difference between a kill, but 99% of the time it's probably not going to be, so that's just something to take on board. You will guarantee a hit, but you're probably not going to do that much damage. At close range ADSing, you are going to tighten your group up so you can get all those lovely pellets onto your enemy, causing a lot of damage. But yeah, it's just something to take on board. Like I say, it's all down to your play style and how you play, what you're looking for. Now, the rule of one pellet guaranteed a hit when you're ADSing or using a laser isn't just with iron sights, it works with any sight as well, which brings us a full loop. If you look, I'm using the reflex sight here, but everywhere I'm shooting it's guaranteed one hit. Now what I mentioned before is when you're using a sight and you're ADSing, you get like a little window to look through. When you're using the iron sights and you're ADSing, the whole bottom section is obscured, and that could be the difference. Like if you're reasonably far away ADSing, someone could run past a doorway, for example, and you might not see them. Again, that's just something to take on board. It's situational, but it's there. So anyway, I think we've pretty much covered the M870. If you enjoyed it or you learned anything at all, feel free to leave a like. If you've got any suggestions or if you want me to make any videos, feel free to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you want to see, if you want to see any comparison videos, anything like that, and I'll more than happily make them. Again, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you want to see more, feel free to subscribe, and I'll be trying to get these videos out around my other content weekly, depending how it goes and depending what the demand is. So yeah, anyway, thanks guys, much appreciated, and I will see you all next time. Bye.